great. You can start.
Okay, so this is a very simple introduction to ETL fundamental. So today we'll try to hand on about this introduction of ETL. In the first part, you will talk about the workshop agenda. This is very the different step that we'll try to talk about today. The first part is about understanding the fundamental and the concept and everything that is very important to know. And the second part, we'll try to build our first pipeline. And during this step, you will try to understand what is all the steps that we need to make to masterize and load data. And you also use SQLite, and you also try to make some debug. And if you have some question or note that you want to ask me, I will try to respond. I will try to do my best. So the first part is to understanding ETL. Like before you we dive in the code, let's establish what is really clear and understand what's mean by ETL and what is really important, why it's really important to use ETL in the world of data engineering. So ETL is something that we usually call extract, transform, and load. So in these three steps, we have to extract data, and we can use different sources like CSV file, API, and or other database. We have a lot of possibility to have different sources to have data. In the second part, we have to transform this data. We can take example of a bank or a school that they don't have a good database, so they want to um, clean, to reformat data or to filtering. And today we will try to do a similar exercise. In the third part, what is always happen when we talk about ETL is that we extract data, we transform data, and in the last part, we have to load this data. Um, Sometimes people just load data to save in the database. That is what we will do today. But sometimes all this data can be used for business purpose or to do analytics or a lot of things. So let's go in the next step. So, well, like I explained, why ETL is so important. That help to make some decisions and help some part of the industry to have to standardize data and to ensure that what is inside our database is something very correct. And using correct data, we can also automate some data flow and schedule or stream data directly in our production application. Like today in the real world, a example that we can use is that you can imagine that you run a store, and every day you have a lot of you have a lot of data that are right inside your business inventory or other source. The first step is that you have to extract the sales. So you have to put all this data inside, for example, a CSV file. And the next step will be to transform this data. You can try to calculate the total, to categorize product, or to clean some customer name that are not very correct. And the last step is the reporting. You can just save data inside the database, or you can use this data for reporting to send to client, or just use it for a simple purpose or to achievement. Okay. So this is all about the first step that you have to understand before we dive in the code. So now you try to make our simple ETL using Python. If you are not familiar with Python, Python is a very simple language for beginner, and you can use it to principally in the world of data. We always use Python of another language like R, but Python is a very good thing. If you don't know Python, you can follow us, but it's a very simple language to begin with. Okay. About other prerequisites, like if somebody already is already familiar with variable, loop, and function, you use it in this workshop. And for the editor, you can use Visual Studio Code, Notepad++, or whatever editor you usually use. But me, in this case, I will use Visual Studio Code. And about the version of Python, you can try to download the last version. It's always the best practice. Or if you just have the version 3.7, is okay. For the configuration, on my PC, I'm using Windows, but if you have Mac or other computer, you can try to create your virtual environment using this step. The only difference, I think, is about the creation of the venv, and normally you have a lot of tutorial, or you can ask to the AI to show you how to create your virtual environment on your computer. That is all about the simple introduction that I will want to talk with you. And the principal thing that you have to think about is this: when we talk about ETL, is that you have to extract data, to transform data, and the last part is to load data. I don't know if somebody you have some question, or if everybody is okay, we can dive inside the Visual Studio.
Anyone has question about the ETL part before diving into the practical part?
Hello, good
Hello.
evening, everyone.
Good evening. Hi.
Hello, my name is Ali, and I don't know about the others, but for me, it's clear. So,
All right, great. Okay, if you don't have any question, you can continue, Mr. John.
Okay, good. Okay, now just I'll create this. Okay, I will share my Visual Studio. Mm, okay, I hope that everything is good. Like I am sharing now, Visual Studio Code. So the first thing that we have to do now is to create our first part, the first part of our project. You can create you can follow the same path. You can create a folder that we can name ETL workshop. So here I'll open this folder. I already prepared something. Here I will create a new folder. Then we can call ETL workshop. Okay, let's close this. And inside this folder, The first thing that you have to do, normally when somebody is working with Python, you have to create a virtual environment, like I showed you before. If you don't know how to do, just find on Google, or you can ask to, if you use something like Copilot, you can ask here, or if you use, or you can also try to create it normally. Um, you can do Shift, Control Shift P, and here you have create a virtual environment. So I will use Python 3.13. This will create automatically a virtual environment inside this folder. So you can see that you have this VM folder now. You don't have to worry about this because I already created with the the configuration of Visual Studio. So let's go inside the terminal, and you have to get this tag inside your terminal to know that you are inside the virtual environment. Why you have to use virtual environment is really important because you don't have to always install Python library inside your computer. The first thing that you use inside this workshop is pandas and also SQLite, but you have to know that SQLite is a simple database that is already provided with Python. So the only thing that you have to install is pandas. So you do pip install pandas, and this will install this library inside our virtual environment. So you just have to wait a little bit to get everything done. Okay, great. And if you want to update the P version, you can also update it for us. It's not really important. So now we have our library. Oh, clear. Now we have our library. Instead, we need some data. So I have already prepared a file or a script that we can use to create this data, and we will use a CSV file to have the source of data. In the first step, you create a create simple data file. So inside, I'll create a new file. I'll call it create simple data file. This script will help me to create simple data that you work with it later. So firstly, we have to import some library. The first library that we need is CSV. This will help us to create the CSV file. And we also have to import random data. I don't know why this auto completion. Don't worry about auto completion, but this is the all the import that we need right now. So we also need to get some sample data, like inside this array. We will try to add a lot of things because we suppose that we are inside a sales. You have to get all sales about a store. So these are all product about the store, and these are some example of customer that we suppose that exists in that store. So what I can do is that I will try to generate a lot of row using this information. I save this row inside data using this for each. If somebody is already familiar with Python, you understand that you do a for each in the range of 15, and you generate randomly a lot of data and make some happening that you add every time this data inside the array. And when this process is finished, you need to save all this data inside our CSV file. So I will show you how we can do it. We can do it with a simple open, and inside we create the something like the header of the file, and here we write the header, and we also write all the rows inside the file. So this is a simple print at the end of the process. So
Sorry,
this is, yes,
sorry for interrupting you. Can you please
yes,
zoom in your screen? If it's possible, make it big.
like this.
Yeah, because yes, it's better right now. Yeah, it's visible. Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay. So I will do a. So in the first part, we import the library, and we define some array that we can use to generate sample data. And here we save all the data inside our file. This would be like the source of data that you use to work inside our ETL. So now I can run this script. You can try to run it directly with the terminal using Python, but we can also do like this. We create a simple JSON file to load the configuration. We can keep everything by default. No. Okay. Just keep everything by default. And here we can run the current file with the debugger. So if I run this file, this generate me a simple data creator sales data for CSV. So here we have now a lot of data that we can work with. If I open this file, you see that my script generate a lot of data using the sample data that we define here. So now we have data that you try to work with. In the first step, you have the sales ID that we don't really have to worry about. The date, you try to transform this because in some transformation, we need that the date is not like this, but in time stamp. And you can try to fix all the customer name, because sometimes you have name in comma case and in the other side the uppercase. And you can also try to create some categories about the different product. And you can also try to add a new column about the total of the transaction that we have. So let's go with the first part of the ETL, that is the extraction. So we already have the source. So now I will create a file that we use for our ETL. And inside this file, let's define let's import firstly pandas. So, well, like I said before, pandas is a really great library, and we don't really need to already use pandas, but this simplifies a lot our life. So I import everything that you need. And the first thing that you have to do here is to define our runner. So normally in a Python file, you will have to make this to make this template. And here we have a run ETL done that we need to define. Inside this run ETL, I'll add three functions. The first function will be the function for extraction, the second one for transformation, and the last one for load. This is a very simple representation of a real world application, because we will not always use CSV, we will not always use SQLite, but this is a simple way to show normally what happen every time in the real world application. So let's let me show you this function firstly. So for now, we don't have all these functions. So I will comment all these and we try to run our program. So for now, our ETL is looking like this. We just have a run ETL that will launch this function. So let me run this to check if everything is okay. Okay, the ETL start correctly and it complete because we don't make some job for now. Let's start with the first one. The first one is very simple. We have to extract data from our CSV file that we already create. So I will add now the extract data function. The extract data function is very simple. We just have to load data inside a data frame. This is where pandas is really important because all this data inside the sales data file, I'll extract all this data and put it inside our data frame. This is what happened. Here we call the raw data. This is our variable that we use later. So I call the extract data function and give the path of our file. We are in the same directory, so I just give the name of the file. So if you go back inside our function, here we extract and read the CSV file with the path. This is a simple print to understand what is happening. And here we read all data and save it inside the data frame. So now all the data about our source is inside a variable. So if I put some breakpoint here and I launch the debugger, you see that our data frame, inside our data frame, we have all the data of our file inside an array. This is very great because we are not working again with the file, we are working with the variable. So now my function return this data frame. So I save all the values of the data frame inside raw data. So now we use raw data to work inside the transformation part. So we finish with the extract part. So let's go in the transformation. To make the transformation, we need a new function. The new function, like we talked before, we will try to fix a lot of things about our data because our data, they are not really correct, or you try to make everything clean. If I go inside the file, you see that here we have Bob Jonas, and here we have Jonas Doe. But here, the difference about these two names, the names are not false, but you try to make some standard about our names inside this file. And also we try to transform the date in date time. So our database will be understand easily what is the type of that data. So here I try to fix the name. So now all the name will be in uppercase. The good thing about data frame is that you just have to call the data frame and set information that you need. So I will don't go. I will don't try to explain everything about pandas, but this will help you to work very quick. So in the second part, we convert the date in date time by this instruction. And like I said before, you can also create a new column, total amount that we can use. We can create using two other input about the file. we have, for example, quantity and price inside inside our sales file, like quantity and price. So we have another information now about the total. Okay. And the last part, we also add a day of the week to give more information. The thing that is very interesting here is about the categorizing product. Here we have something like headphone, mouse, headphone, laptop, and monitor. But we don't really know the categories of these all these items. So what I make here is I define a simple function that we using if else I will create the categories of every item. So if the product is a laptop or a monitor, I will return the category computer. Or if the product is a mouse or a keyboard, I will return accessory. In another case, I just set by default audio. So this is about the information about the category. So in the end, I create a new uh, column inside the data frame of categories and I apply the category that I created before. Okay, and this does remove a row with missing data. Okay, so now we can say that we try to make the extraction, we make the transformation, and now we have to load data. But before, let's just check if this is correct. I'll make some, I'll just make the breakpoint here. So I run the code again to ensure that everything is working. Okay. So if I go inside the data frame here and I find all the data, we have array, Bob, earphone. Okay. But I don't see the category. So, okay. Now we are inside the extra data. So let's play again. ETL is completed. Okay. Okay, I forgot to uncomment this. Okay, let's run again. Okay. So the first time we already extract data. So now we are inside the transformation part. So if I try to see what our data frame look like right now, let me collapse this. Mm, mm. Okay, I can show you here. So if I just show you here the data frame, you see that we have some information like timestamp. Now it's not longer the date, but it's the timestamp information with minute and second. And also we have the categories, that is audio, and the day of the week, that is Monday. So this is a simple example about what can happen in the transformation part. So now we extract our data, we transform our data. Now we have to load this data inside a database. We have the possibility to use SQLite that is already provided by Python. So I will create now the last part is the load data is the last part of our ETL that will help us to save data inside a database. Okay. Let me collapse this lower data. Okay. For now, the thing that I do, I just create this lower data and I define the name of our database, just naming sales.db. And I create the connection using SQLite by passing the name of our new database. So this connect to SQL database and create a file of our DB if this file sales DB don't exist. So here, after the load session, you will have the sales DB name file that we can use to make reporting or make something else. Okay. The only thing that we have to do here is to save all our data frame that we already working inside the database using, for example, data frame to SQL. I just have to pass the sales and pass the connection that we create here. This is, for example, the summary table that we are creating, and we add some columns about the database. Now let's run everything. I just need to uncomment this. And I think that I already removed the breakpoint. Yes. So I'll try to run everything. So what's happened? We extracting data from our CSV file. We extract this record. The transformation data was okay. And we also load data inside our SalesDB. So if I go back here, we have now the sales DB SQLite information. So now we have saved all data inside a database. This is like the last part of the information. So before our file was like this, I'll open also in the another. Okay. So before we have just a file with inside a CSV file. So we make all the transformation of extract, transform, and load data. And now we have all this data inside a database. In the first part, we transform the date to have date time. All the names now respect the proper name. We don't have everything or capital letter, or we make a good standard. We have the name of product, the quantity, and we add some information about the total amount by making the multiplication of quantity and price. And we also add the category, that is audio or accessory or computer or something else. So that is like the simple hand-on on the about the ETL and work with data. The only thing that you really know you really need is pandas, and if you need the extension of SQLite, I think that there are some extension. Is this extension to see what is happening inside a SQLite DB? So you just need to install the extension. So this is everything about this workshop. I hope that you this helped you to understand what's meant by ETL in data engineering. And if you have any question, or I will also try to save this if you need to a repository, and we can share the link about these files. But also with the video, you can follow easy all the steps. I also try my best in English, so I hope that you understand everything. If you have any question, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Mr. John.
You're welcome.
It's really helpful. It was really a great workshop, actually, and explanation too. If you have any question, you can ask. Anyone has a question?
So I was a good teacher, a really good teacher. Wow, I didn't
Good,
know that.
Yeah.
Hello.
good evening once again.
Hello, good evening.
And so it was like wonderful. It was fantastic. So I actually found some difficult, some expression that I didn't understand it well, but no worries. So I did register. I did registration here
Okay.
by my laptop, so I can follow that after like step by step.
Mhm.
But also, if possible, you can, if you have also your own registration, you can send that. You can send it to us like by the platform. It will be useful.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, I recorded also the session, so we will share it on our YouTube channel, and then we are going to share with you also if it's possible, Mr. John. Can you please share with me the materials? So I will share
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I would. Let me deploy this on GitHub so I can you can access easily the all the files.
All
And if you
right.
also need the PDF for presentation,
All right, so you can upload it on GitHub, and then we are going to share it on YouTube, even the recorded session, so you can follow
okay,
step by step, and then also follow the material.
perfect.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Anyone else has a question? This is an opportunity to ask. Otherwise, you can reach Mr. John on his LinkedIn. He has a really great profile. So yeah, any question?
Okay. Mhm.
I think no one has a question. So yeah, thank you again, Mr. John, for your time. Thank you for this session, and hope
Welcome.
we can have you later in our upcoming workshop too. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you to you for the invitation and the opportunity to do. It's always a pleasure to share some knowledge to other people.
Of course, yeah.
In French would be better, but it's okay.
All right, we are going to organize in our next sessions in French. Don't worry. So we have also, I think, we have people who speak French. Who speak French.
Okay.
So in our next workshop, we are going to organize this kind of workshop in French.
Okay. I have already published this, so I'll share the Git with you by mail,
All right.
so you'll receive it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good evening. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye bye. Ciao.
Ciao.